Everyone, I'm going to give you some tips on how to put up your GlawningAIR. So first of all, when you get it, you'll have the main awning in the bag, and then you'll have some panels in the cream bag. You will have the roof cover in the orange bag, your pump and some ropes and your pegs. So make sure everything's there, and the first thing you want to do is put down the footprint if you have one. We would definitely recommend getting a footprint. Then you need to peg your Glawning at each of the pegging points that correspond with the footprint. Make sure to put them all in at a nice 45-degree angle. Once you've done this, you need to make sure that all the valves are closed except the one that you're going to use to pump it up, otherwise you'll be pumping for nothing. So make sure that all the 3 rings on the valve are screwed up tightly. Then to pump it up, you need to just unscrew the very top one. This is a single way valve, so that means that it will allow air in, but it won't allow the air back out again. You can either use a standard manual pump or you can buy an electric air pump, and you'll see the tubes slowly start to fill with air. The tent will slowly start to inflate. It's actually quicker if you do it with a manual pump, but either way it helps if you just give it a bit of gentle encouragement. One person can do this, but it's easier with 2, so that one person can get on each side of the tent just to push up the poles and make sure that the air can flow through properly. You want to be pumping to around 5 or 6 psi. 7 is the very maximum, but that's only if it's very windy, and if it's very hot weather like it was on this particular occasion, then you want to be going a couple of psi lower just to allow that air to expand inside the tubes. Then you need to attach to your van. It will attach either to a wind out awning or to a standard awning rail, and you do this by sliding the bead into your awning rail and then sliding on the plastic figure of 8s as we're doing here to join the 2 beads together. There's more information about this in other videos on our YouTube channel if you're struggling. It's handy doing it on one of these wind out awnings because you can wind it down and then just wind it back up until it's nice and tight. But as you'll see here, you don't want to wind it too far because you'll end up pulling the tent right over. So just wind it back out a bit until the walls of the tent are straight, and then you can wind it back in again once you've sorted all your guy ropes and so on. Then you want to zip on your panels, so make sure that you get the right end of the zip, and the panels only zip one way, so you can only zip them on one way and off one way, even though they've got a dual zip on there. Next, for tying the guy ropes, there's a special technique for this. You need to make sure that you go through both of these loops so that you get maximum hold when it's bad weather and it's windy. So you need to undo this knot and pull it out of the slider, and then thread the rope through the 2 loops as shown. So through the bottom first, and then through the top, and then pull the rope back down to the slider. It's important to go through the slider in the right direction, so make sure that the rope goes in on the side with the Glawning logo on, out the other side, then tie your knot. And this rope will now hold the Glawning in both places to make it very secure, even in higher winds. All you need to do is tie a loop in the end of the rope for holding the peg. Peg it down using the larger pegs. Again, make sure you get a nice good 45-degree angle. And don't pull them too tight initially because otherwise you'll be pulling the tent over in one direction. So just pull them tight enough just so that they start to tension on the tent, and then once you've gone all the way around you can go and tweak them all slightly and try and get it so that the tent sits symmetrically and isn't leaning over on one side or the other. Once you've done all that, you can throw in your decor and you're good to go.